What's going on, Junkies? Welcome back to Culture Junkies Live. I'm your host, Kenshiro. Today, we're talking about that debacle that was the Netflix sports experiment with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson that happened over the weekend. A couple other really cool things came out that we wanted to discuss as well, including a brand new comic book that I think all of you guys might want to go and check out in the stores. Introducer is going to be on the show with me today. As always, the great Adequji, GQ, and Simon Says. What is up, fellas? How are you doing today?
Good.
Hey, doing well.
I'm doing pretty gosh darn good.
Good.
And yourself?
Good. Good to see all of you out there. The other Steve, weren't we just talking about him the other day?
Yep.
The other Steve has just re-upped. He must be over there on Twitch. Good to see you.
Welcome back, sir.
Welcome back. Good to see you as well.
Welcome back.
Any other fun things happen over the weekend? GQ, you went and saw Red One. What did you think of it?
I thought it was a fun movie. They were building their own kind of universe and lore. Not to obviously give anything away, but I mean it's basically Santa Claus has a secret service that protects him, and The Rock is the head of that secret service team. And unfortunately, Santa gets kidnapped the day before Christmas. So obviously he's supposed to, deliver all the presents and all that. And I think what I liked most about the film was the lore that they created. Like, it's like, how does Santa, deliver all these presents over, a billion some odd homes around the world and, in one night. And it was the stuff that they kind of just dealt with that was actually kind of cool and kind of creative. So yes, I know like IGN and some of the other places have given it low ratings, but I think that's kind of part of the hate train that The Rock has been kind of thrust in front of lately by, partially some of his own doing. But I mean, like, bro, just sometimes you just got to sit back and enjoy a movie for the fun that it is, not worry about the politics and all the extra around it. Just sit back and is the movie entertaining? Is it fun? Yes. Yeah. All right, cool. That's good enough for me.
So now, but again, is it hate against The Rock, or is it just hate on new things in general? Because that seems to be the flavor of the era that we're in. IGN gave this movie a 3 now. This, granted, it is IGN we're talking about. They seemingly, their cadre of reviewers seemingly hate on everything. So, but what would I guess I don't understand what could possibly make people mad at The Rock for or wanting to hate this movie. Mega Sean, I heard him talk about it. He said he thought it was a good movie too. Is it?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I would. The follow-up question I was going to ask is: do you think this movie coming out before Thanksgiving is a mistake? Should it have come out after Thanksgiving / closer to Christmas? You think it might have?
I mean, that might have helped, but I mean, I look at it this way: they're probably gearing it up in the sense of it's going to be on streaming maybe by Christmas. No, that's not ideal. Obviously, we know the release schedule normally is you bring a movie out and then 3 to 6 months later it hits other forms of media, of like if you want to buy it, physical or whatever. Who knows on that stance? I think one of the things that I'm seeing lately, at least the trend, is people are asking all sorts of questions that don't make no damn sense to me. Like, people will be like, "Oh, well, who asked for this movie?
Who asked for any movie?"
Exactly. It's like, who asked for any movie that comes out? The movies they drop when the movies drop. The stories are told when the people are ready to tell the stories. You also have the situation of people budget checking and all that other sort of stuff. It's like, does the budget affect you as a viewer? Unless you're a shareholder, that budget don't really mean nothing.
Yeah.
Either go see the movie and enjoy it, or don't. It's as simple as that. It's like I said, I didn't ask for this movie, but guess what? When I saw the trailer, I was like, what? That's kind of interesting. That's kind of cool. I was in Chicago this past weekend. I got there very early, like I normally do. So before I needed to go do the thing I needed to do, I had like about 4 hours to kill. So I'm like, movie theater's right here, so let me see what's playing. Because at first I was going to go see Venom just to get it out of the way.
You still haven't seen that? I'm surprised.
Nah, it was just one of those things where it was like I was going to go see it, and then as soon as I saw that Red One started at a better time, closer to because again, you know how it goes. You go into a movie, you got trailers, you got all the other stuff. I was like, I can't run late, so I just need to see whatever's closest to right now. That's not too long. Where I got to, and Red One was it, and I enjoyed it. So
got you. What's up to Knick Knack Paddywhack on Twitch? Welcome back to the show.
Hey.
The other Steve is saying, you talking about me? Hopefully it was good. Nah, man, we was trashing you. He was like, hey man, how'd you abandon us? You was one of our most faithful watchers and you ain't been around, so we dogged you to hell. You should just watch all the replays. I kid, by the way. And Marcus A64 chiming in on Venom says, I watched Venom on YouTube, which is that's wild. That's wild.
I mean, I saw all of them in theaters so far, so I got to at least see this one too. Even if I catch it on like a $5 Tuesday or whatever, I need to at least see all of them in theaters.
Right?
Why not?
And so in other news, I guess we got some other stuff. Basically, briefly, we could talk about. I know that How to Train Your Dragon live action teaser came out. Was that today or was that yesterday? I don't remember.
I don't know, but people are complaining about that shit again, and I'm just tired of it because apparently dragons in whatever land this is historical. So, and the person that is being cast as Astrid, the person that's being cast as Astrid is not Scandinavian. She has a little melanin. She has, they say 20. She's 25% melanin. And it's just like I'm so tired of this food.
I'm over that.
That's funny.
I'm totally over that. That's so crazy.
Did you start off by saying apparently dragons are part of the culture of this area?
Yeah, they gotta be. Apparently, that's because funny. People are saying it's based off an historical character. I'm like, what historical character?
Really, man?
Seeing TikToks of people saying this shit, and I'm like,
Toothless was
what
real?
Historical character? Dragons, Astrid, all of it is apparently real. All of it.
So I think what they're trying to say is because Vikings were real, that there could in the area.
I've learned that Vikings were a job. It wasn't a class. Yeah. It was a job. That's what you were.
Yep.
Whatever. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm just tired of hearing all this dumb. But who gives a shit if it's a fucking what you call them? People are like, "What, you wouldn't want to see Storm being white?" And I'm like,
"Oh my god, that tired argument again." Oh man.
Here's my rebuttal to that though. Let them try it.
Yeah.
See how stupid.
Let them do it. It does not affect me as a person. It's one of those things. It's like, okay, you tried it. It may or may not work. Who knows? Do Black Panther with a white guy. Try it out and see if it happens. See if it works. It may work. It may not. But if y'all want to, if that is the constant go-to, go ahead and try it. Because a lot of the times that they've quote unquote race swapped, it was fine. They were up in arms when Idris Elba got cast as Heimdall. I'm like, dude.
Nobody said a damn word.
No. They were complaining about that.
They were complaining. Yes, they were
complaining. They were like, he's white. I'm like, dude, he's a freaking gatekeeper. That's
I'd like to see how the world would. Sorry, I'd like to see how the world would be if nobody lost their melanin. Because there's the only reason why there's some people that have melanin and others that don't is because where you were born on this planet, you needed your adaptation of being a human being, and that's friggin' it. I just wonder how the world would be if just nobody lost their melanin. It's just when the human race moved out of Africa and to Europe and Asia, the melanin just stayed. I wonder how the world would be right now.
Interesting.
I know we'd still have fighting because people still still fight, but would it be just dumb bullshit? Like,
it would probably be fighting over more resources than just straight up like, I don't like you because you're different.
I don't like you because you
mean-
don't have natural sunblock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Simon. Go ahead, Simon says.
Well, no, I mean also a religion. They fought over religion. That was
Yeah, people
They
fought
still fight
that
over
all the
religion.
time.
They'll
Yeah,
always
that's-
be doing that.
yeah, that's still a thing. So,
Yeah, they'll always be doing that for whatever stupid ass reason. Anyway, so Fallen Marvel is talking about the he's getting eye strain with the new NBA court designs. You missed last week when we were when we were talking about all those court designs last week when they all came out.
Down every single one. And,
Sure did.
Wait,
And,
have they started playing on those already?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they have been like the past 2 weeks. So like yesterday was
The
a
Lakers,
great game. It was Dalton Connect. That's a whole
Yeah,
separate thing.
That's
Whole
dude,
separate
that's dude.
thing. With Dalton Connect.
He's the real deal.
I'm talking about that game between the Cavs and the Celtics yesterday on Celtics on the Celtics green parquet, big block parquet floor.
I just want to see a game. I want to see a game on one of them orange courts. I have to see that. Have to see that.
So
Is the Knicks playing?
So
the Suns?
The Knicks have already played on one of their played a game on one of theirs. And yes, it's about as distracting as could be.
I gotta look for some clips then.
So you know those sunglasses that you're wearing right now, wear them when you're watching them highlights.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
so
bad.
You can actually go on YouTube and watch the highlights.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. That's obviously after the show, but I just can't because when we were watching football at Dee's house that one time at Dido's house, it was like, why did they suddenly get a darker colored football for one team?
Yeah,
that was so distracting. I'm like,
that was weird.
Like, where's the ball?
That was Lions. That was Lions and Titans, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Lions and Titans.
It was like, did they change the football? Oh, they changed the football. It's a darker football. That was so weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
but GQ, keep your glasses on though when you
definitely
watch
keep your glasses on.
Absolutely, it'll
definitely
help.
keep your glasses on. So, definitely keep your glasses on. All right, so so the other thing I kind of wanted to bring out before we jump into some of the other stuff that we want to talk about today. So if you guys want to check out, we love comics. I love comics. Some really cool comic came out today that I think is going to be of interest to a lot of people in the culture, and that is the Teenage Mutant Turtles Cross Naruto issue came out today. The first issue came out today. It is published by IDW and with a collaboration with Nickelodeon. IDW actually already has the Turtles license. They do Turtles books, but they started working with Viz to do a collaboration with the Naruto brand. This is totally done in America. There's not a Japanese person attached to this project. It is all drawn in, as you can see, in the American comic book style. It is left to right reading.
Look out. April is black.
April is black. April is black with dreads, with not dreads, locks. I'm sorry. She's black with locks. Yes. And I read through it a little bit briefly. The turtles already exist in this world. From what I've seen, there's been no explanation of how and or why this crossover happened. There is no isekai magic that's going on here. The way this story is written, they already coexist in the same world. So you can actually see.
I like that Baxter Stockman look. That was actually a good design.
That was actually a really good design. But as you can see, as they go on, eventually Kakashi and Team 7, mixes up with the Turtles after a brief little scrap with the Foot Clan. And they start to, of course, as want to do in comic book history, it never starts off as a peaceful meeting. They always got to. They always got to scrap.
Fight. You got
to scrap. So they found a reason to scrap, and they start fighting. Raphael versus Sakura, Leonardo versus Sasuke, Donnie and Michelangelo versus Naruto. Which he pulls out his, and Kakashi versus Splinter is kind of like the first mint. So anyway, I'm not going to spoil too much of it. You guys go and check it out when you go to your local comic book store. You should probably want to buy them as fast as you can, because I think it's going to sell out
more than likely. More than likely. They'll probably do another printing. but it probably will sell out. One thing I did see related to turtles last time I was actually in Target, Target sent a check, was they actually had a Masters of the Universe turtles.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I saw
The Turtles of Grayskull. Yes, the Turtles of Grayskull crossover.
They had a Splinter that looked so pimped. I was like, because it was like Splinter kind of cross Sorceress basically.
Oh,
I'm like, yeah, it was like Splinter, like as kind of like the Sorceress style character. He had like a, they gave him like a fur coat.
Oh hell no!
It's like he had a pimped out like just fur collar coat. I'm like,
nice.
Part of me wants to buy this, but them figures are so. It's silly for me to even say, but those figures are expensive for what they are because they're like
not you. No way.
I know it's unusual for me to say that, but it's $25 a pop for basically a turtle figure. And we all know, we all grew up with them. Them figures was not more than $5 back in the day.
Oh yeah,
probably even cheaper than that.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking about $25 per figure. I'm like, I like Splinter, but I don't like him that much.
So wait, so are they still? They're still molded like in
that's
the
what
Mattel...
I'm sorry. Marcus 664 is right. King Grayskull. That's who he was.
Splinter
Grayskull.
That ought to be awesome.
That would be sweet.
Oh,
I need to see that now.
Okay.
Yeah. So part of me wants to get it just because it's like it'll probably be one of those rare things that just as soon as it's gone, it's like, yeah, this figure's worth $8,000 now. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Yeah. So find all 4 turtles, get Splinter. Is there corresponding He-Man Skeletor figures and He-Man Skeletor Tila figures too?
I'm sure there are. Like I said, the only thing I saw was Splinter. So part of me thinks that I need to go back and get him just because it might be that thing where it's just like the one figure that people aren't paying attention to becomes the rare one.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Marcus 664 is 47 months. Congratulations. Thanks for the subscription, man. That's awesome.
Sir. Appreciate you. See, other Steve, unlike you, he's never late with his resub. He's always doing I kid.
Wow.
I kid.
Shots fired.
I kid.
He's saying they're on wave 5, so I'm way behind then.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Nick Lack Padawash says, not gonna lie, that TMNT Naruto sounds like fire. It looks like it is. And when they announced it months ago, I was like, yo, that's pretty cool. I never saw that coming. So yeah, going to the store, going to the comic book store. I'll probably try and get over there tomorrow. Sometime I'm on lunch break and pick up an issue because I know that thing is gonna be. If it's not sold out already, it'll be sold out before the weekend.
It's good to see. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was like seeing. Hopefully, they had like multiple covers. That'd be kind of dope. If I
it would be
in my hand,
especially if they get one done by Masashi Kishimoto. If Kishimoto does a cover, I would buy that on the spot.
Yeah, that would actually be sweet.
Yeah.
Apparently, Turtles has been doing a lot of crossovers throughout the years, and they've all so far been pretty damn successful.
Yep.
So
the Turtles Batman that was pretty good.
The Turtles Batman animation was
Turtles
amazing.
Batman was pretty nice. I'll never forget Shredder getting pieced up by Bruce, man. That was awesome.
Well, what you call it? Shredder gave it to him, and what you call it too? It wasn't like a domination thing.
Yeah.
Don't try to like.
I know. I agree with you, dude. It was like it was not one sided. Yeah, Shredder got him.
I just like
to him.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, it was the way it was set up was so perfect. When Shredder was like, "All right, I'm about to leave," and then Batman got to put a grapple on him, like, man, Shredder turned around like, "I know you did not just throw a grapple around my arm, talking about you gonna keep me here."
Right.
No, when he first showed up, like he did in the actual movie.
Yeah, he just dropped in like. I was like, okay, that's
there
awesome.
he is. There's Splinter.
And then I thought it was funny when Bane tried to break what's his name, Donatello. He broke his knee off his shell. That was funny.
Yeah, like I said, they did a great job with it.
They really did.
It's cool to see. Now if they're going to make an animation out of this comic, that would be interesting.
That would be pretty interesting. I don't know, because Viz is involved, and I know Viz has a direct line to Japan. Maybe they might do that because I'm not sure how popular the Turtles brand is over there in Japan.
It's got to be popular enough that they've had, at least as far as I know, one series that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where, in my honest opinion, was the worst thing I ever seen. because the turtles transformed. They were the henshin, and they would turn into super turtles and have the transformation like
What?
Sailor
I
Moon. and
remember
shit.
that.
I'm not joking.
No, he's not
What?
joking. They were like
Wow.
mutant, like Power Rangers, pretty much.
Yeah, and they transform, and I was like,
We watched that.
Yeah, we did. We watched it. It was many years ago.
Yeah.
But my opinion is when Japanese take American properties and like all the stuff that they do in anime that we like, but they add it to the American properties, I don't like it because they had a Marvel Avengers, but they turned them into Pokemon where they had the kids,
Oh my
had the Avengers in the
God.
fucking thing, and they would throw the fucking, and the Avengers would pop out and fight. And I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at?
I see it. It was a manga and anime called Super Turtles.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, some of the tropes they apply just don't work.
Yeah.
It's literally, I would rather them just take the story and do your animation style on the story.
Yep.
Don't add any extra tropes, no extra weirdness. Just take what we saw out of the comics,
Right,
and animate it the way you guys animate. That's literally for the longest time when we were watching X-Men and they showed those little glimpses of the Japanese Open. It was like, dude, give us that. Give us that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nope.
And then they gave us that X-Men anime that wasn't quite. It was okay, but it wasn't quite.
Wolverine with the fucking pretty boy and the long ass mullet or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Wolverine standalone. Yeah,
No.
that was
was bad.
Yeah, that was
The one that they obviously did well was Iron Man.
Iron Man was
like,
good
well, because you expected like, okay, you're doing mech basically. So
Iron Man and X-Men were good.
The
Blade and Wolverine were bad. Blade and Wolverine were bad. Very bad. Nick Nack says, what about Japanese Spider-Man? That is so weird but awkwardly awesome. He's right about that.
A lot of people like that one. You mean the live action one that came out in the 70s or the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that definitely still felt Super Sentai, but don't get me wrong. On purpose. I mean, it had its own thing. I'm just talking about like the cartoon stuff. I have not found, because even Transformers, a lot of people think Transformers Japanese. The toys that were made back in the day, they were not Transformers. Hasbro bought the toy line and created the characters. They created the storyline. They created the cartoon. Transformers was done by Americans. And when
what was Diaclone? I'm sorry. Right?
Yeah, Diaclone and Microman.
Well, Diaclone, Microman. It was a whole. It was more than one. It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't just one toy line. They took a few toy lines and they made them Transformers. And when Transformers ended over here, it kept going in Japan, and it was still like G1 style or whatever. But like it just would not. And then I saw this. Oh my gosh, it was just so bad. But then they started doing trains. I'm like, why you got the trains flying in the sky? Like, I don't get it. Why you want Transformer trains?
Like that's where the headmasters and stuff came from.
But they were combiners, and the trains combined into it. I'm like, okay.
Yep. They love doing that. And then the other one that they really messed up was Batman Ninja. I don't care what nobody says.
How did that get a sequel? How did that get a sequel where it's Batman Ninja versus the Justice League? Like how did that get a sequel? I don't know.
That and was it Suicide Squad Isekai?
No, Suicide Squad Isekai was good. That was good.
I tried watching that. It still didn't do much for me.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yet.
Dude, man, Clayface and his damn Michael Jackson impression was just Clayface was awesome. King Shark was awesome. Harley was awesome. I'm trying to think. I think Deadshot was actually pretty good too. Like everybody in the Suicide Squad was actually really, really good. I enjoyed it. Like I implore both you and Dido to stick with it. It gets really, really good, especially towards the middle and the end. And I think it was a very, very well done, well done anime.
Remember, Fallen Marvel said they're trying to redeem themselves, I guess, by doing the sequel. So we'll see.
Okay.
But they're doing the same animation style. So what kind of redemption can there be? Like
here's the thing. Batman Ninja's animation for me wasn't necessarily the problem. The designs and the different takes on the main characters we've known for all these decades, that was fine. It's when you started getting into, again, the tropey stuff. When you started throwing, you almost lost a piece, huh? I almost lost a piece. No, it's like when you
went underneath the entertainment system over there.
That sucks. But no, it's like when they started throwing in the extra tropey stuff of the transforming castles and all that. I'm like, okay, now y'all are just going too damn far.
They can't help themselves.
The Batman Ninja story could have been cool. It was just They went way over the top. I'm like, okay, this is not fun anymore.
Yeah. All right, so let's. So obviously, over the weekend we saw.
Well, some of y'all saw.
Some. Yes,
Some of y'all saw it.
Some
Yeah,
people
don't say that. Don't say
Right.
that because
some
my shit
people
was
saw
buffering.
the Tyson versus Paul fight, and the pre-fight card. There was controversy. I think there was the women's bout where old girl Serrano got completely robbed. Like she threw
She got
twice.
headbutted. Yeah.
Yeah, she threw twice as many punches as her opponent. Ended up losing the fight somehow. Threw twice as many, landed twice as many, and still lost the fight. Like how?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. That was weird. And obviously the gruesome visualization of her island basically hanging on by a thread. Like it was pretty nasty that people saw. But then of course what also was kind of nasty or off-putting was seeing old ass Mike Tyson's ass cheeks walking around his locker room. People were talking about that. But the main takeaway from it, other than the farce that the fight itself was, because it was a farce. Don't kid yourself. Mike Tyson was pulling punches. They actually showed
100%
some clips.
pulling punches.
Yeah.
They showed some clips of him actually. He had Paul dead to rights, and he did not throw the punch. He was like, oh, I just remembered. That's my payday. I better not throw that punch. I digress. Netflix as a platform wants to get into live sports, but it kept crashing for me on my TV app. I'm not the only one. I think it happened to a bunch of other people. Weirdly enough, it worked fine when I tried to pull up the fight on my phone. But when I tried to use it on my TV, it crashed all the time. There were 65 million people that around the world that watched this fight. Boxing is one thing. The NFL is another, because in Christmas, they're going to be doing live NFL games. Imagine if Netflix fucks that up. And then they're going to be doing WWE starting next year. But in January, I think they're doing Raw.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do y'all think this is a bad idea? Netflix and sports.
I mean, already it's starting to be looking like it's going to be a bad idea. Because I was kind of like saying from the beginning when they got Raw, I was like, okay, is this going to be live or I'm pretty sure I knew it was going to be live, but I was hoping that it would be taped because I know, from experience when you're trying to stream live events across multiple like on a platform, it's going to crash. You're going to have issues. Basically that I guess I want to say that was their test run on live sports with that to see how that worked. Hopefully that was a test, because if it wasn't and they decided just to straight up go to oh yeah, we're just going to do Raw and then basically have it to where it's just crashing all the time. It's like, okay, you gotta tighten that shit up right now, because otherwise you're gonna have a lot of people unsubscribing or you not even bother watching Raw, and just I don't know. Did they say they were gonna after it was done, they were gonna have a after Raw or something like that where you can go back and watch it again?
You can always replay it because you can replay the fight. But my thing is, and sorry to interject,
no,
a lot of people are forgetting one caveat. It may be an issue in the future. We don't know yet. But Netflix doesn't release the numbers of how many people watched it. Maybe they will release the numbers, but I think there was way more people all around the world trying to watch in, and their servers couldn't handle that. And I don't think Raw is going to have that same amount of people watching it. Raw is going to have whatever their numbers are currently move over to Netflix. And unless Netflix did a thing where if you were in North America, you couldn't watch it. If they did not do that, that's the whole entire world that has access to Netflix was probably trying to watch that fight.
Well, they said it was 65 million people worldwide.
Okay, then that's probably way more than Raw will ever see.
Yeah.
And that's
Raw,
because they probably have never had that much streaming.
No.
Anything. I don't even think any football game, any soccer football match.
Trying to think Taylor Swift. But that might not have been live though.
That was I don't know if that was that. The Taylor Swift, yeah, that was live, but I don't think that was on. I forgot what streaming. You think it was either. Wasn't that on Amazon? I think.
I'm not sure if it was. It was recorded and released as a concert film in
Okay.
2018.
Yeah, if it was
So
probably
it
not
wasn't
live.
live.
Live,
Yeah, it
okay.
wasn't live.
Yeah, because with television, you have the
Ratings.
advantage of not even so much ratings for doing live events for television. Like let's say, for example, the Super Bowl. You have repeaters that are essentially sending it out all around the world.
Yeah, that
Versus,
bandwidth, dude.
yeah, exactly. The bandwidth is a completely different thing. And to Dido's
Especially
point,
4K.
you're not going to get 65 million people watching Raw on Monday, on a Monday. It's just not going to happen.
No.
Now, granted, you probably are in the higher millions of people watching it, not like 65 million, obviously, but we're gonna have to really see, because this is one of those situations where it's like, yes, this is probably a one-time issue, but it's still an issue. Like, let's say, for example, you get something bigger. Let's say it probably will never happen, but let's say they do get WrestleMania, for example, exclusive to Netflix. Like I said, I highly doubt that's ever going to be a thing, because Peacock would be stupid to let that go.
Yeah.
But let's just say they did. Okay, WrestleMania is not quite a Tyson Jake Paul thing, but it is a big global world event where people are watching from around the world. I would be, again, I'm not a Netflix subscriber because I got so much stuff that I already have and own in it anyway. But it's like, if I was a subscriber and that's my only way to watch WrestleMania, and it's all crappy and whatnot, then it's like, okay, well, like we used to throw WrestleMania parties. It's like, okay, that would really suck if we're sitting here trying to watch this thing live and you got to bring it on your phone, or instead of watching it on your damn TV or something. So
Iguana Man's got a good point, saying that their first stream was the most viewed live stream sporting event ever. The WWE and NFL is even more invested now. So I can see his point, and they have less than a month to make sure that things are going to work, because again, the NFL is a worldwide juggernaut too. Not saying that the Christmas game that they're going to have on Netflix is going to approach 65 million worldwide. But say if Netflix wanted to say, if Reed Hastings went up to Roger Goodell and said, "Hey, Raj, why don't you let us get the Super Bowl one year?" The Super Bowl could easily do 65 million, if not more than that.
No doubt.
You know, so but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But what is that bad? Do you think that the advent of streaming, having it locked on a streaming paywall, is good or bad? It's business,
we know. It's good for the company. I personally, I think they're going to have to increase whatever servers or repeaters, because remember, everything that GQ said and what I said, the amount of people watching it, and the things that it pretty sure was being streamed in 4K. The bandwidth is crazy. 65 million with that type of bandwidth going out.
Crazy.
You have to have had, and they probably just didn't have enough repeaters or whatever you need to do what they needed to do. So
I think what'll happen,
sure the next time it's not going to be like that.
I hope not. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I think what'll happen is because it's like for the first time, like it's going to be streaming live on Netflix, and also from what we're hearing, also it's going to be kind of like more of a back to the Attitude Era style. They language won't be a problem either, so they might so that might be something that'll lure people in. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like interested in seeing how that's going to go. Far as like you said, like Dado said, it probably won't do as much as that fight, but for the first time it launches, people are going to be so interested in vested to see how this is going to do, how it's going to work. You might get a lot of people viewing in on it, and then especially those diehard wrestling fans, they're going to be they're going to jump in.
I mean,
from jump.
So part of the appeal, right, in watching streaming sporting events, like say for instance, right now you can watch Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. You can watch Sunday Night Football on Peacock. you could watch Monday Night Football on on the ESPN app.
Mhm.
The reason I like to watch it on Amazon Prime, Peacock, and ESPN app versus viewing it on cable is because you get the fidelity increase. The video on Amazon Prime for Thursday Night Football, never mind that the games are shitty. Like they are 100%.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the games on Thursday Night Football are shitty. They need to
Yeah.
do better with that, number one.
yeah.
But the quality of the video is so crisp. It's broadcast in HDR. You can see everything.
Yeah.
It looks great, right? Cable can't compete with that. Imagine if these other networks, ESPN, Peacock, whatever, Fox started streaming a lot of their weekly offering of games on Sunday. Oh man, you would never get people to leave. You would have them forever. You know, especially you can use your 4K TV and watch everything in high fidelity in HD in Ultra HD. Oh shit. Amazon's getting NBA games next year too. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be amazing. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be great.
You can
see all those
ugly courts. You can barely see the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. In HDR, you'll get the different shades of orange.
I don't know, man. You might need to wear some blinders for those too.
Right. No, to your point on that, you're 100% right. It's like you will finally get the actual, true use out of your TV. We all have 4K TVs, so it's just like you'll finally actually get, true 4K broadcast coming your way. I think to your point with the Super Bowl, I think that one's baked into the old style of commercials and ads too much.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
You forgot about that.
Imagine you are a company that just paid $5 million for 30 seconds and your commercial don't run properly because the server crashed. We talking sick lawsuits.
Yeah.
But Netflix is getting sued.
I don't know.
I didn't read the article. I don't know who they're getting sued by, but they're getting sued right now because of the glitches.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like that is. I don't know that Netflix would. Again, who knows if the talks were even there? But I don't think they would want to dip their toe in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Just from that side of things, because the amount of ad revenue that comes from the Super Bowl. Yeah. And not only that, who runs the Super Bowl normally? Is NBC or whatever?
It's usually between CBS and Fox, but with the new rights deal that they just had over NFL rights, I think ESPN/ABC is getting into the fray again. So,
but again,
at some point,
from what you just listed, those are all still technically traditional television,
terrestrial television.
Regular. Yes, they are not giving up that money.
They have the streaming though. All of them who you said have their own streaming platform.
Oh no, they absolutely do. But what I'm saying is like as far as like let's say Netflix trying to lock it up and get it as an exclusive thing to Netflix being the carrier for the Super Bowl, I don't think that'll ever happen just because of the amount of money.
I would not put it. I would not put it above Reed Hastings to use this as an excuse because they already have their ad viewing tier for Netflix. They just introduced that, and it's got a lot of people. A lot of people are subscribed to that tier, because they want to save money and they don't really care about having 4K streams and all this other kind and multiple devices and all that shit.
But it's literally like the reason that the Super Bowl is shown on those, like I said, the terrestrial channels is because all you really got to do in most cases, turn the TV on, you got access to it. You don't have to jump through a paywall to see it. And advertisers, they're trying to get as many eyeballs as they can get.
Yeah.
So for them to outright say, okay, you have to have Netflix in order to watch this.
Okay, and Iguana Man, this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? He says the Super Bowl has to be available to as many households as possible. It has to be on local TV. Here's the problem with that in modern day business thinking. If Netflix ponies up enough money, the NFL is not going to care.
Oh, hell no.
Especially if the advertisers get concessions from Netflix, say, hey, we're going to run a stream where your commercials are going to play. and it's going to play to all of our subscribers, right? They could rival. There's 65 million people. There's 65 million people worldwide. Would eclipse whatever is done for the Super Bowl being watched only in North America, right? And I'm not sure if the Super Bowl is available outside of America. I could be wrong, right? I don't know enough.
No, it's not.
It probably is somehow.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know enough about that.
It just to make a joke about this too.
Yeah,
it'll go up with the Swifties if the Chiefs make it.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Yep.
But he's not wrong in thinking that it feels wrong that as time goes by, sports as an entertainment medium is being taken away from the common man ever increasingly. Like, look at it; it's almost impossible to get a regular season ticket to a football game.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the team, it may be impossible to go to a basketball game, hockey game. Baseball seems to be the only one that hasn't fully priced out the common man, but all the other sports seem to have done so.
Yeah.
And this is another step in that direction, because now you're paywalling a huge event like the Super Bowl. Something about it feels wrong. Even to me, something about it feels wrong, but we know the CEOs don't really care. They don't.
No.
They don't really care. They don't.
It'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting because, like I said, I mean, Netflix apparently has deep pockets. We've talked about it before. They're throwing $5 billion to WWE for that exclusivity.
Right.
So
hell, they what was the budget for that Rebel Moon movie? It was like 200 mil or something like that. 100 mil. They threw money at that. What did they care?
Shit. Anyway,
I mean, they got it.
So just real to put a bow on this, since Dido brought it up, I did search for the lawsuit, and apparently it's been started by a resident of Hillsborough County, Florida, who says he's a Netflix subscriber, sued the company in Florida state court. The lawsuit filed on Monday speaks of unspecified monetary damages and class action status, which smart thing to do on behalf of all the other consumers who were affected, accuses Netflix of breach of contract and deceptive trade practices under Florida law, and alleges Netflix was woefully ill-prepared for the high demand of the Paul Tyson fight and that the live stream was unwatchable because of their problems. He's not wrong.
That's fair.
He's not wrong at all.
Yeah.
He's not wrong at all. So
I just think it's crazy that the TV app, because you're like you said, you're not the only person that said that. A couple other YouTubers and stuff have responded, essentially saying that their TV was glitching out, so they were able to watch it on their phone. I'm like, it seemed like it would be the other way around. Like, you try to get as many TV watchers, because that's what people are going to be doing, having watch parties at home.
Exactly.
But whatever.
And this is kind of what brought me to the thought of even talking about this today, because it's like, I could watch that fight on my phone, not a problem. When it comes Christmas time and the NFL is on, I ain't gonna want to be watching no game on my phone. I want it to be on my TV.
Exactly.
Like, come on. Like,
it's like sitting there watching Raw on my phone, be like,
exactly.
Is that a body slam or a tombstone? What the hell?
Right.
Exactly. 100%. Anyway, I hope they do get this resolved. I'm still not sold on Netflix as a platform for sports. I mean, I know I know these streaming companies want to be everything to everybody. I just feel like there's a little bit too much. Thank you. Stay in. I feel like there's some measure of staying in your lane. Don't necessarily try and blur. Not everybody has to be good at everything. Not every company has to be involved in everything. I know everybody loves having 100% of the pie of the market share, but come on now.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna be good at everything. Just do what you do. Stay in your lane. All right, what else we got to talk about?
Well, I don't know. I almost want to keep that topic for a whole nother show, because I'm sure if we start talking about the 80s and 90s, chat gonna have all sorts of stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So we might have to hold that one off until next week.
The 80s and 90s. What do you mean? In
regards to the 80s and 90s properties, like the
what we talked about earlier.
Yeah. So that one might have to. Y'all might have to come back next week for that one.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a lot of fun.
yeah. It's a pretty decent topic. Okay, how about this one? This one's fun. So, and this is two 80s properties duking it out, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. I want to ask people in the chat because I thought it was pretty funny when I came across it. So, somebody was doing a pick'em, a clash between two iconic cartoon theme songs. The Transformers in one corner, Thundercats in the other corner. I would love for all of you guys out there that have watched both the Thundercats and the Transformers, let us know which one you think is the better theme song.
Question though.
Yes.
For Transformers, which season theme song?
So we're talking. So it's Generation 1, probably. Okay. I think he has season 2.
Okay, season 2. Yeah, season 2 was good. Season 2 was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Iguana Man already.
All right. He came in. He came in
getting hot. Came in hot on that one.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to not say, the Thundercats doesn't take the crown here, right?
I mean, it gets you pumped though. I mean, ain't gonna lie. You hear the. It's like.
Thundercats.
Yeah, it's
drilling.
The Thundercat song is a call to action. It literally is a call to action song.
Yeah,
and it feels more like an actual song.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, both of them have lyrics. Yes, they both are intros to shows or whatever. But Thundercats feels like a call to action song versus Transformers is kind of like it's a cool beat. It's the name of the show. It explains a little bit. Transformers is more like it kind of giving you information. And Thundercats is like, no, let's get ready. It's time to get hyped. The show's about to start.
Yep.
I think that's why Thundercats kind of gets a win here on that one, in my opinion.
No, Mash, my man on that Mash intro, he got his money's worth on that one.
Oh, well, that synthesizer, man.
Oh, hell yeah. He got his
that
money's worth on that
synthesizer,
one.
like, just had that going. Oh, who you giving away free admin to? There we go. Oh, better be careful.
Yeah, I know. But it's like it's just even seeing, 100%.
Yeah.
It just gets you hyped, bro. Like, come on. Like,
now, in all fairness, it's a slicker intro too.
It is.
Yes, it is.
So I mean, it's definitely a product of its time.
They just don't make them like this no more, right?
Oh, hell no.
They just don't. They just don't make them like that no more at all. Like
This one, I like this one, but it was like I like this one better than the. This one's cool.
It just don't get as like Thundercats.
And like you said, it's information.
Here's the thing, though, and this is definitely not the original song.
It's not. This is the second one.
Yeah. I don't. By comparison, I don't like this song.
Neither did I.
Yeah, I like the original song that was originally used for that animation sequence.
Yeah, but that's the one that he was trying to compare it to, and I was just like,
yeah, that's not fair. That's not a fair comparison. Iguana was saying, why isn't Thundercats getting a reboot? I thought
so it already had one. They already had one.
It did reboot, and it keeps failing.
2011.
It fell multiple times. Nobody watched it. And then the one that they did watch is the one that's like Teen Titans Go. It's like
fuck that. Thundercats Roar. No,
that's the one people watched.
No, I watched the remake. That was good. I watched it all the way through.
Awesome. I loved it. Will Friedle is
He-Man.
Will Friedle is Lionel. I thought it was sweet.
I think you're running into though. We would have liked it. We were the audience that wanted to see it. The audience that was presented to was not into that type of thing. They, like you said, they wanted Thundercats Go or Roar or whatever it was called.
Yeah. No, here's the thing about it though. When they were airing it, it was like around 8:00 on a Saturday
at night. Yeah,
at night, and like I'm pretty sure. How are you gonna get this like eyeballs on it and it's not?
That was a mistake right there. Yeah, that was a mistake right there. They tried to market it towards the teens that were into anime and stuff like that. Might have been waiting for like Adult Swim.
But why?
But-
Yeah, if they had if they had aired it on like weekdays, maybe like after school or something like that, that would have worked. But
I think the other issue though you're running into is this was getting really close to the beginning of that era of nobody's sitting in front of the TV watching stuff no more. They're catching stuff on demand. They're catching stuff, you know, like you said, streaming and whatnot. So it's like
the kids are playing video games instead of
definitely that. Like that one of the early shows that ran into that problem was that Green Lantern animation. Where like it was like they were just worried about selling toys. They were worried about like viewers. It's like, bro, people
same thing with Young Justice. Same thing with Young Justice.
People don't watch. They don't watch at those times anymore. They watch when they feel like watching because this stuff is available on demand. And as far as the toys go, y'all was putting out some garbage toys anyway. Like a lot of these toys that they the little stiff arm Justice League and Marvel toys. I'm like, like nobody wants these. It's like y'all got to put out some decent stuff if you want kids to get it. And of course, you're running into the issue of a lot of the stuff like Marvel Legends and DC. I guess they're called DC Showcase and DC. It's like those aren't toys. That's more collectors level stuff now. It's like their parents ain't buying that stuff.
That's expensive.
So like $20 when it figures.
Yeah,
when it figures like $20.
Could you imagine that in 80s money? If like they were
like $60,
right? Like Star Wars toys, like them boys was only like $1.97 if I remember right when I was first started getting those, and like GI Joes were like maybe like $2.99.
They were $2 because like me and Waffles were like we would literally go to Toys R Us and like buy like 4 or 5 GI Joe figures.
Like you couldn't even touch none of them figures at $20 a pop back in the day, man. $20 was like that was the price of like Megatron. Megatron was like a $20 figure, which is insane to even think of.
Oh yeah,
back in the day,
dude. If I could go back in time,
Doc Brown, where's you
now? Dude, with my money now, I'd have the aircraft,
the entire line,
the shuttle, every damn transform, man. It wouldn't even be a thing. It wouldn't even be a thought. It'd be like, here you go. Here you go.
I want this whole line. I want all.
Yeah,
like, this whole row. This whole section. Just give it to me. Just give it all.
But the nostalgia of an old school Toys R Us, man.
Man.
You basically had the Star Wars aisle, the Transformers aisle, the G.I. Joe aisle. It wasn't like little baby set. It was aisles. Stuff.
Brave Star was Brave Star toys were kind of pricey too.
Yeah, they were.
Oh yeah.
Because me and Drew got the actual one with the horse 3030.
I remember Brave Star was a nice toy line actually.
Yeah, it was.
And humanoids though.
Oh yes, dog.
Oh my goodness, that was a crazy line. And here's the funny thing: I never got any of those. I don't know why. For whatever reason, I never asked for those when I was a kid. But it was just like I never got any of those. And I'm just looking back, like I remember those commercials vividly. And this like the humanoids themselves, like those toys were so massive and just like so detailed. I'm like, damn, why didn't you ask for any of those?
Could you imagine that as an actual live action movie though? In humanoids,
that would be
rated R too.
That would man. Wait. Hold on. Marcus 604. How is that even a serious question? How's that even a serious question? He said, "Would you have the flag with your money now?" Hell yeah, you would.
No, honestly, and here's why. The flag is literally a room killer. You have to have a room for the flag. The flag is too big as a toy. As much as I like that thing, as much as every time I see it at a store, I stop and check it out and look at it. It literally is. If you get it, that's going to take up an entire. That's it. It takes up whatever room it's in. If you have to dedicate most of the room to it.
Yeah.
Didn't Francis and Pee-wee's Big Adventure have the flag, or am I misremembering?
No, he just had a swimming pool as a bathtub.
Oh, okay, all right. What about?
Because remember, the flag can't float. The flag does not float.
Oh, that's right. It does.
It's a play set more so than it is an actual vehicle or anything.
What about? Did you have the pit?
G.I. Joe. The biggest vehicle I had from G.I. Joe was the whale, which was the hovercraft.
Okay.
Because with GI Joe,
That was cool.
I collected
Way
more
old
of
school.
the figures
Mhm.
than I did the play sets, because like most of my ask money was towards Transformers. I like Transformers more so than I like them both, but as far as toys went, I was always asking for Transformers. I usually bought GI Joe stuff with my own allowance. But
Same.
as far as Christmas asks, it was like big GI Joe stuff or all Transformers. That was the main things I was always asking for.
All right. Interesting. So to wrap it up, we got about 5 minutes left. I think this will take about 5 minutes, the rest of the show. So shoot, he had the
Thundercat's base.
The thing that's based with the
Cat
flashing
Slayer.
chest, the Cat Slayer. Yeah, okay, that's a pretty.
Cat
still
Slayer
got
was
it.
sweet.
Do
Yeah,
you
that's
still
the thing.
have it?
You still had that bad boy.
That's the
Oh
question.
yeah, that's the question.
The only Thundercats figure I actually ever asked for and got was Lion-O. That was the only one, and they had the little ring thing that you put in his back when his eyes would light up.
I had Lion-O too.
Yeah.
We had.
I think I had
damn
Mumra
near-
as well. I had Lion-O and Mumra.
We
damn
had
near
Silverhawks
had
and I had Tiger Sharks, but I didn't have any Thundercats, which is messed up.
Yeah, we damn near had almost all the Thundercats except for Cheetara and the Wily Kid. We
I
did
wouldn't
have
have
the
asked for
Thunder
Wily Cat anyway.
Yeah, who wanted them
We had the
anyway?
Thundercats. I mean, hell, man.
Who wanted them anyway?
Might as well have them all.
I mean, no, I get that from a collecting thing, absolutely. But I, as a kid, I would have never asked for Wily Cat, or Snarf. I would have been like, you can take them back and give me a Panthro.
For the Silverhawks, I had the Mirage and Bluegrass.
Same.
And I also had the Copper Kid.
Same. Yeah, we pretty much had them all.
What you call it? The spaceship that they had.
Oh, you had the Hawk?
Yeah,
the Mirage. Right? Okay, nice.
Yeah, the Mirage.
I don't know what happened to any of that stuff. It's all gone.
Yeah, I know. All right, so real quick, getting back to it. So, Marcus A64 highlighted earlier in the show that literally today, is the 40th anniversary of Dragon Ball as a property. So I want everybody around. What is your favorite Dragon Ball moment? Not character or anything like that. Favorite Dragon Ball moment. Singular moment. Driver's Ed with Piccolo.
I love the Driver's Ed episode because it's literally just, it made no damn sense.
It was so
It made no sense.
It was the best filler episode ever.
Who could probably by now can fly herself, wanted Goku to get a driver's license so he could drive. I'm like okay.
I would say Super Vegeta when he first transformed and took that first hit. He was like, "Are you Vegeta?" He's like, "No, man, I'm Super Vegeta."
Oh, was it? And was it when Krillin told him, "I thought you had to be pure of heart"? You know?
No, not that one. Not Super when he first Super Saiyan. No, that was after when he's fighting second form Cell.
Ah, got you.
Yeah,
Super Vegeta. Okay. All right. Okay. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was my favorite moment when he literally exploded and let it loose, and he went beast mode and murked all them Cell Juniors. And he was humiliating Cell. That was my favorite moment.
It looks like you and Takeem got that one in common. How about you, Dido?
I was gonna make a joke and say this Popo Bichi. But
oh man,
yo man, what he did to Videl was just all the way wrong,
and that was wrong. But no, that was definitely not my favorite moment. I think my favorite moment was not necessarily. It was almost the whole show, just when it first started coming out over here in the United States and waking up early as fuck on Saturday mornings just to see the new fucking episodes or whatever because. I just remember watching Dragon Ball and the 13 episodes they just kept repeating over and over again. And then I stopped watching it. I think I was watching what the hell is the name of that mecha show? I forget the name of it. But my brother comes running out of the room. He's like, "Hey, turn to channel 50 or whatever. Goku grew up." And I'm like, "What?" So just memories of watching it with you guys when we sat around and doing the fucking fan dub, our own fan dub back then. You know, those I think are my favorite moments.
There was like a period of was it like a period of 2 or 3 years where that's seemingly that's all we did.
Watch Dragon Ball.
So watch Dragon Ball. That was all we did.
I mean, even when we had the anime club, the running joke was if somebody had not seen Dragon Ball,
movie 7
on standby.
Yeah. Yep.
Even if it wasn't supposed to be watched, movie 7 was always on standby. Somebody had a copy of it somewhere ready to go.
And it was always like, well, what is Dragon Ball? Well, I'm glad you asked.
Right.
Yeah. Put that bitch in.
Like, put it in. And the funny thing is, it was already understood. Everybody about to watch this anyway, so it's just like, okay, this is cool. And like nobody really complained about, oh, we got to watch this again. It's like, no.
Nobody's ever watched that
deal. Yo, and of course, this was back before movie 7 had been translated. So we was watching it fan sub.
The fan sub.
Nobody cared.
No,
nobody cared.
Here's the funny thing. And also to Guanaman's point, Vegeta blowing up the crowd during the Cell games was I'm sorry, the Buu Saga was awesome. But I love the new dub of movie 7 though. When they turn,
I gotta get my trucker tag.
Android 13.
That Android 13 voice actor was having fun, man. He was having so much fun because like all of his lines was just like, bro, this is so over the top ridiculous, but it's perfect.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was really good.
That's always been a great series, man. Toriyama did his thing. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Man, it's such a shame to know that he's gone. Dang, that's so much. If you guys haven't been watching, of course, obviously Dragon Ball Daima is out. Go ahead.
I'm enjoying it.
Sparking Zero. Real quick, I wanted to get you guys' take on this because it was a bit of a point of consternation for some people in the group. But the Game of the Year awards, Game of the Year nominees for 2024 were announced earlier this week. And the nominees are Astrobot, Metaphor Red Fantasio, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Black Myth Wukong, the DLC of Elden Ring, Shadow of Erdtree, and Balatro. What do you guys think is going to take Game of the Year?
Game of the Year. Ooh.
That's it. Just those 6.
That's hard. Those are some toughies. I haven't played Astro Boy. I want to buy it because I love me some platformers. Probably my number one favorite genre is platformers. I haven't played Black Myth Wukong because I'm waiting for it to be cheap. Can't be buying games at $70 and have them sitting on the side. So in Elden Ring, I didn't play the DLC. I want to get the DLC. I have played Elden Ring, and I really like Elden Ring.
Didn't it take the best game in last year? I believe
Elden Ring. Yes, it did. When it came out, I think that was 2 years ago. But when it came out 2 years ago, yes, it did. It did win Game of the Year. Some people in the comments are saying it. I find it ridiculous that a DLC is being nominated for Game of the Year with all these other games that we've had out there. I think that's ridiculous because it's not a standalone game. It's literally an add-on to a game that already exists.
Exactly.
So I don't like that. So Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I know King Takim is saying it shouldn't be nominated, but it literally is a whole other game, even though it's technically part of Final Fantasy VII
story.
Yeah,
it's a continuation of a story,
right?
But it is you can go out and buy Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and play it by itself.
Correct.
The DLC to me, to your point, the DLC you have to buy Elden Ring to play it.
Yeah.
So that's not really crazy. That's not a Game of the Year. That might be DLC of the year. But to call it Game of the Year,
is crazy.
That's kind of cheap. That's
crazy.
I'd like to see Black King Wukong take
Black Myth Wukong. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Black Myth. Yeah. I'd like to see that take it because it's new.
Yeah,
it's brand new. Now, granted, it's based on a story that we've all seen before, but it's still a brand new thing. Like let some new something come in and rejuvenate the game industry and get them out of this funk of sequels and reboots. And you know what I'm saying? Yes, there's plenty of original stuff out there. But a lot of the bigger studios aren't doing it. It's a lot of the indie studios that are doing the original stuff. The indie studios
cost so much damn money.
Oh no, absolutely, and I get that. But I would love to see, like Black Myth Wukong bring up a resurgence of, hey, we can do new IPs and new ideas.
Yeah,
because
I agree with you on those fronts, right? However, for my money, I kind of believe that Astrobot is probably going to win it. If only because I feel like the widespread popularity of that game, even though it's a PlayStation exclusive, but the fact that it's such a visually impressive, challenging platforming game, and there's a lot of people that I know that have been playing it, very much enjoying it. I feel like it's going to take it. Now, that's not to shade Metaphor Red Fantasio, because obviously that was created by Atlas, the same company that gave us Persona 5. Very much looks like Persona 5, and I've heard nothing but rave reviews about it. I feel like
isn't your daughter playing that game?
She is not. She loves Persona, and she's actually playing that Persona 3 remake that they just came out with not too long ago.
Okay.
But would she want to play this? Absolutely. I think she would want to play this. Absolutely. I
figured that. Yeah, because I know she's a big fan of Persona games.
Right. And Balatro is a poker themed roguelike with a roguelike deck building game, which is kind of crazy when you think about it on its surface. And now that I see it, I'm like, I might want to check this out, because like it's a poker themed roguelike deck building game.
No, Sinvicta was playing it. You heard me talk about that guy, the Binding of Isaac. He was playing the shit out of that.
Like that seems pretty cool. Like, yeah, I might have to check this out, Balatro. I might have to check that out. It's pretty cool. My 14-year-old is a Persona fanatic all of a sudden. Look, man, I don't know what it is about Persona. I couldn't get into it. I tried Persona 5, and I kind of got bored with it pretty quick. But that's just me. Maybe I'm just not a big JRPG guy, but I digress. I got into a little bit of an argument with a guy that said he thought Dragon Ball Sparking ReZero should have been a Game of the Year nominee, and I was like, no, it's not. It's not Game of the Year material.
Popular. It might be fun and popular, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
I heard so many people dropped off of Sparking like no tomorrow.
They did. Like it came out the same. Like, okay, Metaphor Refantasio, and we're basing this off of Steam player base numbers. Refantasio came out a day after Sparking ReZero. It has 1,000 more players right now than Dragon Ball Sparking ReZero. And Sparking ReZero had a high player base, but like you said, it dropped off within 3 weeks, like precipitously.
Yeah. I think that you always get that with fighting games, though. Fighting games always have that, because Dragon Ball's numbers will go up again once they release their next round of DLC fighters or whatever it's going to be. Also, I know we're about to go, but Ghostface came out for Mortal Kombat 1, and he's awesome.
Yes, no, that shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was playing with him earlier today and yesterday. He's awesome.
Wow. Marcus Aces Forrest said, I'll be honest, I played it for 10 minutes and went back to college football 25.
Wow.
That should tell you something. Like, look, man, I know the novelty of the game was like, oh man, they made another Budokai. And then you play it for 10 minutes and you remember why you quit playing Budokai. Just saying.
Because I don't think it was ever that good, but apparently people's memories of it was better, or maybe they had a lot of fun with it, but
they were kids.
I personally didn't like it when it came out, and I was just like, I wanted a fighting game like Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yes,
and we finally got that, and we finally did, and I didn't really play much.
And it had legs. Dragon Ball Fighters had legs, unlike Budokai didn't. It was like everybody was like, oh, but you can have fights just like in the anime. Yeah, and you see how unbalanced that shit is too. You see how boring it is to basically have people just running around throwing fireballs all day. Like it's boring. It's not fun. I'm sorry.
Yep. But
sorry.
What do I know?
I digress. Thank you all for joining us for our show today. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. It was wonderful talking to you guys for the past hour. Make sure you come back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, for another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. For my friends, the great Edikuji, Simon Says, and GQ, I'm Kishiro. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. Have a good one. Get ready for Thanksgiving and a whole lot of good eating.